Hello from the Yarn Closet in southern Arizona. I'm Laura in a little bit of a ponytail. Oh, this growing the hair out. I don't care how old you are, it's annoying. My 8-year-old had bangs a while back and she's still growing them out into getting them just right. And oofda, I don't know how I feel about this. I liked the perkiness when it was just like in this region. I liked the perkiness. I feel not the best these days. Although we are the end of January 2024, and I don't know about you, but I think a lot of people are feeling not their best. Oh, do you want to know what the noise is? Can you even hear it? Here. I'm doing a bit more. I'm trying to get through my stash and get everything all wound up. Woo, there we go. Watch out for the cord of the earbuds. These are the only skeins I have left. Just these and these few. Oh man. It's just, things are just a kind of slow start to this year. But I did want you to know that I did record an episode about the blindness, as people have asked me to. And I just felt like it wasn't very positive and I was maybe sad. And I've been really sad the last couple of weeks. I don't know if it's been the weather. I don't know what it's been. But things have been rough. So I decided that I would give you an update on my Danish sweater and how that's going, and maybe throw in a few little tidbits on the Legally Blind business. So, what does it mean to be legally blind? I was at a lunch this last week where they asked me something. So I actually don't see enough out of this eye that my eye, when I was a child, wanted to even be open. Okay, I wanted to walk around like this. My mom trained me to keep it open, because even though I've had 2 eye surgeries, this eye is still indented. It still seemed better for me to have my eye open than to walk around with my eye closed. Like, there's literally no difference when I do this other than a bit of brightness that I can sense. And it's a sense more than a see. You can be blind by being 2200 in vision versus what's normal vision is 20/20. Or you can be blind because instead of having the 180 degrees of vision, 160 to 180, you have less than 20 degrees of vision. Okay, 20 degrees of vision is about equivalent to looking through that thicker straw with your bobo tea. Okay, I have less than 10 degrees of vision. So looking through the tiny McDonald's straw with your soda, that's it. And that's about kind of what I see is there's a clear area that's about equivalent to looking through that straw. And then there's patches of like cloud around it. It can be gray some days. It can be very black some days. It can be, it's normally just kind of a white gray kind of cloud with sometimes bursts of light or color. If I walk by something that's very bright colored in a room, or somebody moves with bright clothes or something. So, yes, blind people can see. Can I read? I can read this. Can I read a regular ruler? No. Can I read a regular ruler with my glasses? No. Can I read this ruler at all? Hell no. But I know that the ruler itself is 6 inches, the whole chunk. This is a fabulous book, Braille for the Sighted. It's hard to get. Can I read this? Can I read this? No, not really. I need my glasses, and then I usually need a secondary level of magnification to actually read the sentences, and differentiate between the dark dots and the light blue dots. The dark dots would be equivalent to the feeling dots. I can use this to write, and I can, as long as I hold my finger along the line, I can keep track of the line. Otherwise, if I don't have a ruler underneath what I'm writing or keep track of it with my fingers, I'll start writing on this line and I'll end up writing over here on that line. It won't be straight across. I wear pants. I used to wear long skirts a lot until I started tripping on them. And I wear pants to cover up the fact that I have bruises all up and down my legs from bumping into things. A niece has some bad vision right now due to an illness, and I noticed at a thing yesterday that she was bumping into stuff that she used to walk right by. I don't think anybody else noticed that. And also, they would probably blow it off as a little kid, just being crazy. I wear this ring and not my wedding ring because I don't want to keep catching this business on stuff. I use these stitch markers. They only come in 2 colors because I have to use the big ones. They're easier for me to figure out. This is so that I can slice stuff. I can get the knife between and slice stuff. I remember the colors of things to know what I'm looking at. I do a lot of things by feel. Some days my vision is better than other days, whether I have an illness, no matter what. It just is. I use my cane as much as people tell me I shouldn't, because then people have a certain perception of me. I use my cane because it's the right thing to do. Because if I fall down in the middle of the day, people are going to say, oh, she fell down because she's blind, not because she's drunk. There have been times back in the day where people thought I was drinking at lunch and that's why I was so weird in the afternoons. No, it was eye fatigue, people. It was eye fatigue for being at work already for 8 hours because I was working a long day. I'd come in a couple of hours early. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it was eye fatigue, which made me kind of bump into stuff and whatever. It wasn't drinking. It was eye fatigue. And it's so hard because I really want to do color work and I suck at color work and I'm not going to do color work. So I'm going to do this Danish sweater because that's more about texture, knits and pearls. Well, hell, I can do that. Okay, so here's my update. I am already on my second skein. This is one of the patterns that they have. Instead of ribbing, I did the overlapping at the edges. I don't necessarily like, my first few sweaters were bottom up. I don't necessarily like that. But I'm doing it. And I keep wanting to start one of the patterns, except I don't, because I think about it. And I think, first of all, I don't know how what they say for yarn is actually going to be reality for yarn, because it just doesn't seem like, even though my gauge is on, it just doesn't seem like that's how we're playing out. Because it took almost a full skein to just do these little bottom like ribbed sections. So I really don't know. I don't know. I do know that the one that I picked in the book that I'm kind of doing is going to be a bit of a dropped shoulder, so it is going to be a little bit wide on me, and that's fine. I don't know, theoretically I like that style. I don't know in reality if I like that style. And I'm trying to I love completing a project, but I'm trying to make projects this year that I'm actually going to wear. And I'm even contemplating ripping apart some of the sweaters that I don't wear from my early days. I just don't know. I don't know what to do. And so I'm going to keep plugging away. And then figure it out later, I guess. I don't know. I'll probably end up putting this away halfway done and switching to something else because it just seems like it's already been a bit of a slog. And it feels like I haven't made much progress because it feels like it's going to be a real lot to get up to here where I would split for the sleeves. And then what I'm thinking is when I split for the sleeves is maybe that's where I'll actually do the texture. I'll do the texture here in the upper part because that's where I want to draw my attention to anyway. And in trying to read this book and get through it, oh my God, it's not just about knits and purls. Some of these stitches are very confusing. So I'm going to do just a knit and purl thing, but I'm going to do it just, I guess, in this section. And knitting teaches patience, and it teaches that through patience and persistence, we do get somewhere that we want to be. And that's the trick. That's the trick. So I guess maybe that's my tidbit for today. Now you know a little bit more about what older people go through with their vision as it gets worse. It doesn't often just get worse in the seeing of it, getting blurry or whatever, but it also can get worse even with other eye diseases that can kind of narrow. And remember, eye fatigue is a real big thing, especially in the elderly. And elderly people don't tend to go and get their eyes checked frequently enough because glasses are expensive. There are other alternatives. If they're beyond the point of driving, they may not need their long vision and they may be able to get something similar to what I have. These are just higher magnification here, and this is empty. It causes me far less eye fatigue to wear this kind of a glass most of the time. Because like I said, I'm not driving, so do I really need to see out in the distance clearly? No, not when seeing up close clearly is a challenge anyway. So at least this way, when my eyes are looking through this part of the glasses, there's no eye fatigue. And so when I'm looking down to read or on my phone or something, or to see my fingernail clearly to clip it or something, there's less eye fatigue. And it's a lot like knitting, and you can buy all the knitting trinkets, and how many of them do you really use? So there's this newer gadget that I came across. You wear it around your neck, and it's a large size magnifier, and you can get it up to like 3 magnification, which seems like a lot to you guys. It's not a lot to most of us, but it's also lighted, so that might make the knitting on the evenings that I have a lot of eye fatigue easier. Or it might make like reading with my kids' homework easier. So I've been thinking about doing that. But I've had a lot of gadgets over the years, and very few of them have had a long-term use. Just like I got rid of a lot of my knitting stuff that I never used, the extra tools and whatnot. And you've got to let go of this stuff and just not feel bad about it because things change. So, that's my thing. Look with your heart first, not your eyes. And let's try to have patience with each other.